Hey everyone, and welcome back to another session of Deathwatch with Hosen and the guys. Our last session, they got into a fight with a bunch of crew and just killed the Krutox and melted the cogitator that they needed to go down. So let's see how they deal with it. Okay. So if I last recall, we just got out of the fight with the Krutox. Cogitator is pretty fucked up, and Diz got pretty messed up too. So Diz will probably be using some fate points. Get his character back up, or not.
Oh, I was waiting for you to continue talking. I didn't know if you were done or not.
No, I'm trying to get you guys to go now, so I'm ready when you guys are. So feel free to start telling me actions and thingamabobs.
I start trying to interface with the cog that's half melted and see if it's even salvageable or workable.
It does look like you might be able to save it. It'll take some time to repair it though. Via tech use -10 to begin.
How long does my character estimate?
It'll probably be a few minutes to repair it, and then you'll have to, then a few more minutes to run through the brute process stuff again. So probably about, I'd say about good 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
Marcus, it will take me 5-6 minutes to repair this cogitator, but we may be able to save it.
That is good news, Brother Cassius. In the meantime, I will heal my wounds. I'm going to use a fate point to get out of crit 2.
Okay. So one fate point is 1d10.
You fight like a Black Templar, Brother Marcus, as I'm repairing the thing.
So since I'm at -2, that heals me all the way to 4 wounds. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. What do you mean by that, Brother Cassius?
Black Templars are renowned for charging an enemy much larger than themselves with much less resources, well, as much as you had, to an enemy as giant and foreboding as that. You would be commended among my brethren.
Yes, well, at the time I did it, I was not thinking about that. I was only thinking of keeping my brothers safe. That is why I charged in when Brother Dominic disappeared.
Of course, brother.
Speaking of which, Brother Dominic, what if next time you were to use your abilities and something worse were to happen?
Taro? Is he not here? No. Oh well, I'm going to pause
Brother
it.
Dominic turns to stone.
I'm going to pause it. I need to pull up my calculator here real quick, I guess, while I wait for him. Okay, so we're back. He's going to... Wait, his tech use out, I guess. So, there you go. Okay, so you successfully rolled your tech use, and a few minutes have passed, 4 minutes have passed, and you're able to wire it up and reboot it. And the terminal is functional, though power is minimal.
Try to open up the door if I can.
Okay, so you press the open up the big door right next to you button, and the well, alright, so when you look on the terminal and stuff, these are controls for not really a door, but an elevator.
Okay.
And the controls are like go down or call elevator, I guess.
Marcus, this is an elevator. This is not a open hangar of some kind, like we assumed.
That is great news, Brother Cassius. Now that we have a way to get down to the lower levels, can you perhaps activate it? Is it
There was no problem.
powered?
There is no problem with activation. It has sufficient power. I am able to do as much. However, if I may recommend, let me help Shadris with his bolter, and then also maybe we can erect a miniature fortification to be protected on all sides when we go down this elevator.
Yes, I was actually thinking the same thing myself, brother.
Excellent. Brother Shadris, I am ready for you now.
Thank you, Brother Cassius.
In the meantime, I'm going to begin moving some of the cobblestone rubble onto the elevator.
Alright, go for it. 1 second, guys. Need to pull up more menus and stuff. Okay, you guys didn't miss anything. He's just moving shit around. So... let him do that, and then mainly waiting for Star to come back. 'Cause he's on the phone, I guess. Doing some phone stuff. You should build like a cool shape. Make some shapes. Or spell out a word. Spell out like dookie.
That's not Space Marine like.
Oh, you take all, it's like, oh, you take all the fortifications off the door. Now they all slam down and enemies flood through.
How come we didn't hear him before? You don't know. Time to fight.
They're silent enemies.
Let's spell out Space Marines.
All the enemies behind the door were playing Splinter Cell in order to prepare for this mission. You imagine a bunch of Tyranids sitting around playing Splinter Cell. He's so dumb.
Getting pissed and then whipping the controller.
Alright, I assist Shadris. I don't know what I need to do, Hosen. I mean, is his gun jammed still, or?
No, I think he's
No.
jammed it. I don't know. Do
I
you have like,
re-downloaded the program, so we just pretend something.
do you have like gun blessings
I don't
or
blame you,
anything
dude.
like that?
I don't know.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, only my oath and like some of the feats later on that or talents later on that I get actually allow me to unjam people's guns. So, sorry, Shadris.
Don't be.
Alright, so you inspect his gun a little bit, and you realize that there's actually a flaw in the gun, and that its anti-jam failsafe is not turning on for whatever reason. Make a tech use to try to fix it.
Nope.
Oh.
Looks fine to me.
You fiddle around with it, and you figure that it's working normally, and I guess you hand it back to him.
It is fixed, brother Shadris. The Omnissiah protect you from further jab.
Well, thank you, brother, but what was wrong with the gun?
The barrel actuators and the spinning mechanism and the ammo ejection was not working properly.
Right. Okay, can I assist you, brother Marcus?
Yes, everyone, Guilty, and get behind cover so that the elevator may descend further into the complex.
Do you want us in any particular formation, Marcus?
Perhaps rather than having 3 separate areas, we can fortify ourselves into one area in the middle of this elevator.
I put Sorrow in good cover, I think.
Perhaps
Completely.
perhaps in a diamond formation. That way we can watch all angles when the elevator descends, in case there are any enemies below us.
You can move my character if you want, Marcus, to put me in position.
Yeah. I don't know what he meant.
I'm telling you, dude, you should have spelled out something. Like awesome possum. I think you're having too much fun with this.
Rebel Storm. Okay.
There.
Hi, we're Space Marines. So much stuff happening on today's adventure of Space Marines. Woo! Riveting adventures in Space Marine world. What will happen next? What will they spell out? Nobody knows. Stay tuned. I'm actually, I want to keep it running just in case they say some stuff, but I'm kind of tempted to pause it just in case, or just wait for Sarah to come back, so I know what he's doing. That's not very balanced. There you go.
There we go. I knew I had it wrong somewhere.
Okay. You did. It was not symmetrical. To make a booby, you can't show that on the tubes. There you go. Wait, what?
Still a booby. Alright, I'm gonna hop out and turn it on if you're ready, Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus, are you ready? Test your might.
Yep.
Alright. So you run over to the cogitator, flip its down arrow switch, and the big old gray platform that rests on the floor starts to shift and then move down at a pretty slow rate.
Mass Effect style.
As it descends down. An annoying radio comes over and gives you some news about some shit that you'll never remember, or it doesn't even really matter. Like, today a Tyranid made friends with an Imperial Guardsman, only to later realize that they were Tyranids and Imperial Guardsmen, so they fought and the Tyranid ate him.
That was pretty pointless news.
Triggered.
Yeah. It's supposed to be pointless news. That's Mass Effect news. It's all pointless.
Captain Rafen has a hangnail. Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright. So you start to descend at a fairly slow rate. Though a while does pass. I mean, well, not a while. It's like about 45 seconds pass, and then A servo skull makes you look up and you see a servo skull flying over the entrance, and it makes its way down to you guys, and it starts like snapping its pictures and scanning and stuff like that again. And just kind of.
I'm gonna spit out some technolingua. What
Yeah.
are you here for?
The Inquisitor is en route. I am scouting the area ahead of him. Is there any information you wish to report back?
Is it speaking in technolingua or just Gothic?
Technolingua. My Technolingua's a little rusty, sorry.
Mr. Marcus, the Inquisitor's servo skull is here. Do you wish to pass any information along?
If he knows where the chapter house is located, tell the Inquisitor to reinforce the area and wait for us to resurface so we can bring the fight to both the Tau and Tyranids.
You sure you do not wish to meet them at a safer location? This is a hotspot. I walked through many, encounters on the way here.
You're right. Perhaps when we resurface, I can inform Watch Captain Raven and perhaps get the land speeder so we can make haste to the Imperial Guardsman camp.
Okay. I pass along to the Inquisitor. We will be in contact with you as soon as we are done with our mission here. Then to Marcus, do you trust this Inquisitor?
Trust is hard to come by in these days, my friend, but it is the only other ally we have on this planet besides our ship above the planet. So it is best that we advance cautiously with the Imperial Guardsmen here.
Understood. If this artifact is of something powerful enough that it warrants our attention, it worries me that an Inquisitor might want to get involved, and is so intrusive. It's the second time I've encountered the servo skull.
A second time? What happened the first time, brother?
I kind of feel like a laugh. I'm like, well, I told you, but... The first time I met the servo skull, it was outside when I had just barely reached this encampment, this fortress, this chapter house fortress. And I had given it information that we would meet up with the Inquisitor after we were done with our mission. He was very inquisitive about the artifact. Well, at least our nature of our mission. He doesn't know about an artifact as far as I remember telling him.
Very good. Well then, the Inquisitor doesn't need to know at all about the artifact. We must keep it from him. Therefore, if it warrants any kind of power, the Inquisitor does not feel compelled to take it from us.
What about that servo skull? Should we tell it to go away?
I'm not sure. You can tell it to stay or to go back to the Inquisitor and relay the information that we have given it. It does not matter to me.
I do not want to create any suspicions, so I will let it be for now, if it isn't all the same to you.
That is fine, brother.
Yeah.
Sorrow's back. Did you want to have your conversation with him that you tried to have earlier, Marcus?
Sure. Brother Sorrow, in the previous battle, when you vanished, I stepped up to take on the Krutox and took a massive hit. I think it would be best if you calmed your psychic abilities for the rest of this mission. Do not use them as often and we will not have another problem. I do not want to relay any information of your disappearance to the watch captain. I do not wish for anything to happen to you.
Stepping up and taking the hit was your own doing. My disappearance had nothing to do with that. But I will concede to your wishes and limit my power usage from now on.
Thank you, brother. I do not wish to control your abilities. I cannot begin to imagine of what type of power you possess. It must be great power. I do not wish to limit your abilities only to keep this kill team alive.
Do not kiss up. I know full well why you guys would fear my abilities.
And do not talk back to the kill team leader, brother.
As you wish.
Okay. As you end your conversations, you hear a familiar voice for Cassius come over the, I guess, the audio ports of it, and it is the voice of Inquisitor Harkin, and he says to you, he says, I am responding to a broadcast that was sent out by a voice that was matched up with a space marine. I believe I have found them. Or is my servo skull once again trying to communicate with a tree?
Someone responded to your broadcast, Diz.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. I was reading what Zaro typed and thinking on what I just said, the conversation we just had. I'm sorry.
You gonna respond? Anyone?
Oh, what they
Diz
say?
said he missed it.
Oh, you hear, okay, so you hear a voice come over it.
I didn't hear who it was.
Oh, you never heard the voice before.
Oh, okay.
Just, it just says, it's just a voice coming over. Cassius recognizes it as Inquisitor Harkin, but you just hear a voice come over the audio ports of the servo skull, and it says, he just says, I'm responding to a broadcast in this area, and the voice that has sent it matches up with that of a space marine. Is my servo skull communicating with a space marine now, or is it merely trying to talk to the tree again?
I say nothing.
This is the Inquisitor that I originally spoke to, brother. The one I just mentioned.
Do you believe it would be a good idea to relay back to the Inquisitor? Do we not wish to keep what we are doing a secret until we have completed it?
I do not trust the Inquisition.
I as well agree with Brother Sorrow. Until we can secure it and know what it is, no one else should be trusted.
Well, he did respond to our emergency broadcast from earlier, so maybe we just reassure him that his help isn't needed anymore. Seems kind of rude to me.
Mm-hmm.
We shall respond back to the Inquisitor once we have resurfaced with the artifact.
Fine.
Okay, so you know nobody responds to it?
It's the servo skull trying to communicate with us, right? That's hovering above us. Like that's the point of the transmission.
Yes, it is. It's the Inquisitor talking basically through the servo skull. It's coming out of its audio ports.
We're gonna have to say something, Marcus. We can't ignore it.
Yeah, that's what I was on about. Like, he wanted to respond to the broadcast that we did for me originally, I think.
Very well, Brother Cassius. Relay to the servo skull that we no longer need help currently, and will message them back once we tell them that we are cutting off our signal, and we'll relay back to them once we have completed a mission of ours.
Inquisitor Harkin, this is Tech Marine Cassius. We spoke earlier. We are entering the parameters of our mission. We would be appreciative if you did back off until we've completed that. We no longer need your assistance, but we are more than happy to help you with your endeavors after we complete such. We will be entering Vox silence in the meantime.
Alright. Okay. And what is your primary? You never told me about it. And how do you know what my endeavors are?
We assume it is the Tau and the Tyranids that have attracted you here. Our own primary objective is redacted. I told you this earlier. If you wish to speak more about our primary objective, Watch Captain Rafin is more than happy to assist you with this. He is our chain of command.
Very well. I shall try once again to get in contact with this watch captain that you speak of, though he has eluded my earlier broadcasts.
Many apologies. There is much going on with the watch in the area. We will assist you as soon as possible.
The watch? So then you guys are here for the Tau and the Tyranids, if I'm not mistaken. Or is there other Xenos activity in here that I am unaware of?
There is no other such activity that's been verified and confirmed by our team.
Okay. Well then, I guess I shall inform you, though I am converging upon your point as I speak. I will be accompanied by a few platoons of my own, and we shall be upon your area, I guess, of operations within the moment. With all the conflict that is going on, I would advise for you guys to stay put, though I know I have no authority over you. Perhaps we can figure out something together that will be mutually beneficial.
We endeavor to such ends.
What? He's like, what?
We will endeavor to such ends is what you say.
Okay. Oh. Shall be there shortly.
Brother Marcus, we have incoming IG platoons along with Inquisitor Harkin.
His servo skull flies off, by the way. Back up through the...
Very well. We shall deal with them when the time comes. Until then, we must continue onward and retrieve the artifact.
Acknowledged.
Okay. So quite a bit of time has passed, and the elevator continues to descend. It's been a good, I'd say it's been a good 5 minutes or so since the elevator has begun going down, and the entrance or the opening, you know, that you guys came down from is pretty much no longer visible. You can't see the light coming through there anymore, and you guys are cloaked in darkness as you continue to descend. Yes. Go for it, Sarah, if you want to.
Hang on, let me bring up my information sheet.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how to address the group of Space Marines. Brothers, I guess. Brothers, as we have been fighting and exploring this area, I have come across a few a few warp discrepancies, one of which has actually created a beacon of sorts for me that leads to a lower level it leads to a level in which leads to a room in which I believe contains the artifact we seek. Though I'm not for sure because it's just a powerful psychic. Was it a phenomenon, Hoser, or is it just like a pulse?
Like a pulse.
It's just a powerful warp pulse that I felt. Although I still remember its location. But I have been in contact with a man I believe to be a guardian of sorts for what we may be searching for. I've only learned a few things about him. One is that he is called Archimedes. I've heard both the warp ghosts and he himself speak as much. Another is that he's working on something called Project Eden, and I have no idea what it is. I've only heard about it in passing. But he has been down there for a long time because the warp ghosts themselves speak of him from when they were alive. Another interesting thing I've come out on, or I've picked up on, is a vent system that can be used, I guess, to gain access or flesh out stuff in the lower room. Because I'm not sure what you actually said about it, Jose, and I wrote gain access and flesh out, so I didn't know if it was like something I could travel through or if it was like a pump system. So I just wrote both of them. But that's what
It wouldn't be something you can travel through, but it would be something like you could, if you turn ventilation on, you could throw shit in it probably and spew it into lower rooms.
Yeah. So I learned of a ventilation system that could be used to help aid our coming battle with Archimedes, because through his minor telepathy, we have exchanged words and agreed to disagree, basically, on the coming battle.
If Brother Dominic, if Archimedes is of this Space Marine chapter house, is he our enemy or is he our ally?
I would caution against seeing him as an ally. Through our conversations, he has stated that he would protect the project and would kill us if he needed to.
Very well, brother. I shall have you guide us to his location so that we may obtain this artifact and come face to face with this Archimedes of this chapter.
Brother Dominic, do you think after we go into battle, potentially, with Archimedes, that the other ghosts will turn on us? Do you have any insight on that?
Hosen, is there some test I can make for that? About Warp Ghost?
No, but it's going to be your own educated guess.
The Warp Ghosts themselves have showed no signs of hostility or even recognition toward us as a being, but they seem to be they are incorporeal creatures, and to my knowledge, they have no way of affecting the physical world normally. But I mean, I have no idea what Archimedes has planned for us. I would avoid them if you could, because if they can affect the physical world, we would be hard-pressed to fight, as only psyker powers or specially designed force weapons can affect them.
I see. I will keep that in mind. Thank you, Brother Dominic.
Okay. Alright, so your elevator ride continues to descend, and what seems like you've gone down at least a good 300 meters underground or so. You finally get to the bottom of it as it comes to a complete stop. Travel time about 6 minutes total, and you are now what seems to be in some kind of underground armory. The room is pretty similar to what you were just in size-wise, but though now surrounding the walls is really old equipment, a lot of scrap stuff, mainly around. As for useful stuff, there's not really like anything. There's a gigantic tunnel that is carved through the dirt and through the ground that leads off to the north.
Now, from the elevator, that tunnel is the only, I would say, exit off of the elevator? Like, that's the only direction we can head? Or is there any other doors? Or any tunnels or anything?
There's only one tunnel, and it leads off to the north.
Can I make a science test to locate that pulse location again?
Yes.
Or get a more specific area?
Yes, you may.
I fail.
Okay. So you try to do science test. And
Oh wait, science is willpower. Is that a challenging test? Or is it just a normal, easy one since I already knew its location?
it's challenging.
What's challenging? Is
Zero.
it no bonuses or negatives?
No bonuses.
I fail.
Okay. As you try to do that, some lights actually like flicker on and off a little bit, and some more warp ghosts come into existence in this lower room. A lot of them resemble that of tech marines, tech priests, and stuff like that, and it looks like a lot of them are busy working away on various vehicles and stuff that are scattered around this room, such as, I don't know, like the Space Marine bikes and things like that. Yeah, rhinos, other stuff.
That's interesting. Warp ghosts seem to be attracted by psychic, not phenomena, but it's the word I'm going to use because that's correct, I guess. They seem to be drawn to by psychic activity.
You notice in particular that one very important looking Space Marine, perhaps he is a chaplain, walks around the room and walks up to one of the, this is for Sarah only, walks up to, well, everyone sees it, but vocal wise you won't be able to hear this, only Sarah's character. Seems to be like a chaplain kind of walking around the room, and then he walks up to a tech marine who's working on I guess like a predator. Yeah, he's working on a predator. He begins conversation with them. He speaks to the tech marine, and he says, he inquires about Project Eden. He says, "Brother, how is Project Eden going? Is it almost ready for deployment?" And the tech marine responds. He says, all things are going according to plan. The prototype psychic chamber that Archimedes has been working on is being currently finished up. And once that is finished, he will be able to pilot it, and a good platoon, good fleshed out platoon of Space Marines will be the ultimate weapon once they pilot this thing. The chaplain kind of looks uneasy on his face as he responds and says, "Are we sure though that we can trust Archimedes? It seems a little bit weird that we would have somebody outside the chapter designing such an important part of this, or playing such an important role in all of this." The Technic responds back to him and says, "While I may hold similar concerns, I would not go against the will of the Emperor, for he is the one that has placed Archimedes here. And if Archimedes turns out to go a little bit crazy with this, there is more of us than there are of him." Chaplain nods to him and says, "Well, you are in charge of this project. I will not doubt your decisions." And then he walks off.
So it's only Sorrow hears this?
Yes.
Is there a particular reason why? I'm just wondering.
I don't know, librarian. It doesn't have much to do with the Cyanide. It just has to do with he's the only one who can actually really interact with the warp. Like you can, as with your Cyanides, I mean with Cyanides you can detect stuff and things like that, but these are, he's reading essentially warp impressions, I guess, and translating, it'd be translating like into words and stuff like that. Like, these are past events, past memories that are replaying out, but you'd have to have a pretty good control over the warp in order to be able to pick up on it.
That sounds good.
Okay.
What did he say? Did he say what the psychic chamber was for?
He alluded to that. No, actually, I don't believe he did.
And he said that if it was used with a group with like a platoon of Space Marines, they'd be unstoppable.
Yes.
I'm just marking down information for it, and I missed it because I was thinking. I don't remember.
Perhaps not the chamber itself, but perhaps whatever it's being installed into.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Like it might just be one part of something bigger.
So with Cynetians before, I mean, it's been like 2 weeks. But when we originally got here and Sarah did his Cynetians test, was he able to see if these ghosts were extensions of a particular psychic effect, or are they just floating around manifestations because the warp in this area is really weak? Was he able to determine any reason?
I think the only thing he was able to determine when he used his Cynetius test was the fact that they exist and that they are there.
There's a strong psychic warp present. The only reason I could see them was because I have the Auspex augury implant, so I could see outside of my drop pod anyway.
Well, you
so
didn't.
I wasn't just letting me know that they're warp ghosts.
You didn't see them with that. You sensed them with Cyanides.
Yeah, but what you said was I could sense them, but since I was able to see out anyways, I knew what they were, because that's how I negated the warp shock thing, or whatever, since I knew about it.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll ask, of course, Dominic that question, and I don't know how you answer, Sarah.
What are you asking me? How I knew about the warp ghost?
I'll just ask, have we determined the location or reason for these warp wrinkles?
Warp wrinkles. Maybe picture an old woman for whatever reason.
You. The location. I still have the general area of the location, or I still have the beacon to see where we need to go. My actions to better pinpoint where it is have failed, though it has brought about some unusual insight into Project Eden, because it seems the warp ghosts themselves are more active around psychic occurrences. But it seems that this Project Eden is a chamber of sorts that could be used in something bigger, maybe, to grant awesome strength to groups of people, like space marines. So maybe a Titan chamber or something. It's what they speak of Archimedes working. These tech marines around him, or these tech marines here, are wary of him, though, because he's not of their chapter, which is also interesting because this seems to be a highly secretive project.
So these warp phenomena are not attached, or the result, you cannot trace if they're a part of this chamber in order to better locate the chamber, or any certain psychic effect that is causing them to manifest.
Just correct. It seems that the warp energy around this building itself is quite strong because the fabric of reality is weak in this area, probably because of whatever Project Eden is, if I had to take a guess. So they're able to manifest much more easily than they normally would. The warp impressions I'm reading from them are because of their strong manifestation. Nothing more. I usually would not be able to read such an ancient warp impression at my current power level.
Understood. Thank you for sharing.
Good rolls. So you have 1 fate point left, and that's, what, 13 more hit points for you?
Yeah, I have 17 total wounds now, and 1 fate point.
Okay.
Okay, I'm all set.
Okay.
Well then, brothers, we must begin searching for this artifact and its location. Brother Dominic, since you've had interactions with this chapter house and its, let's say, residents, I wish for you to lead us to its location, for you have a better understanding of this chapter house than any of us.
Where's my map?
Hosen is the room we're in right now. I don't know, what is this? I mean, these cobblestone, that was our barricades and stuff from earlier,
Yes.
and they've been rebuilt as a defensive fortification for as we travel down the tunnel, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yep.
So we've hit the tunnel bottom, and there's a room full of old junk parts. Are they like really old? Like there's no way we could harvest anything off of them? Salvage anything off of them? Or can we check real quick?
They're pretty old. You probably wouldn't find anything of use really around in this room.
Okay. Then you said there's just one tunnel leading out of here, correct?
To the north, correct?
Okay. Off we go then. If you wouldn't mind drawing that out. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I had to zoom out hella far. Are these doors?
No, it's just for when I was up, or when you guys were up on the upper floor. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
Go to activate
Shadra's-
aspects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the area down here is pretty dark, and I don't know if you had your aspects and stuff as you were moving up Castellus and Sorrow, but kind of as you move up, you get closer to like the edge wall there, and there's actually a terminal that's next to your character right now, Castellus, or a cogitator rather.
There's a what? Oh, okay, gotcha.
kind of reveals itself from the shadows as you get closer to it.
I have found another cogitator, Marcus. I'm going to examine it. It may lead us and give us some information about this current sector.
Very well, Brother Cassius. Do you require assistance on that terminal?
If you could, yes. Every little bit counts.
Marcus, if I have your leave, Shadris and I can travel down the tunnel a bit further and see what lies ahead.
It is a fail on my part. Wait just a moment, Brother Dominic. I do not wish for us to split up and something happen like earlier when
As you wish.
you, Brother Sadris, and I all split up and the Tyranids attacked.
There are controls for the lights.
I found controls for the lights. Do you wish me to bathe the area in light, Marcus?
Yes, do it.
Turn it on.
Alright. Lights flood on as they light up the area. It's now much easier to see. And down the very end of the hallway you can see what seems to be some kind of blast door.
Can I activate this blast door with the cogitator?
From this particular one, it says that there's no power for it.
Like, is it a damaged power cable, or is it just...
Damaged power cable.
Something? But there's a damaged power cable that is preventing me from opening this door. I can seek to repair it, or we may open it another, well, improvised method.
It may be better to try and repair the cable while we have the chance. We know not how thick the blast doors are or what they may contain.
Agreed. Hosen, I'll get on this. I don't know what's required.
Tech use challenging. It'll be a few minutes to repair the cable. Okay, it'll be
Very
like
successful.
1 minute.
1 minute, brothers.
Okay, this just fucked it up, so now it's gonna be 2 minutes.
How does he fuck it up? He's trying to assist.
He failed his assist, but I'm just kidding. It's not. He doesn't do anything.
Okay, damn. I was like, if there's penalties for assisting, yeah.
No, it's just like you like have it all perfect and shit. And you're like, I got this, and then Diz comes up and he's just like, I just imagine like rolling his face around on the cogitator keyboard and just messing everything up. He's like, I helped.
Just slapping the side of it like computer monitor.
Yeah. Dude's like, I could do it. It's like error. Just the cogitator just explodes. Okay. Alright, so you have the power linked up back to the blast door, and you can open it, though you do notice that, well, yeah, you can open it. Sorry, big scratch out.
Brothers, the door is ready to open. Did you want to take any information before opening?
Take all of it.
Yes, Brother Dominic and Brother Shadris, get to the left side of the cave. Me and Cassius will be on the right side. Be prepared for anything that comes out of the doorway.
God, it's a long hallway.
It is.
Zoom out.
Sora's all the way down there by himself.
Yeah, because I'm doing what he asked me to do. The end of the cave, right? Way down here by the blast doors.
Oh, I should have clarified. I'm sorry. I meant at the corners right here. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Brutal. That's like way long range.
You just sprinted a football field. How does it feel?
Not quite. Half football field. I'm probably doing okay. Jetpack and all that.
Space Marine and all that.
Yeah, Space Marine. I'd like to open a private channel with Diz real quick, so I'm going to borrow him in another event channel. Not Diz, Mark. 25-man raid, Diz.
Very well.
Wait, what?
Personal event, or personal Vox channel.
Oh. Okay, while they're chatting, Brother Cassius, what do you suggest we should do? Should we set a kill zone just in case?
I recommend Overwatch from optimum killing efficiency, followed by suppressing fire from either myself or you, whoever gets the first action, then following up with another full auto blast to kill any who was sent in our way. Depending, of course, on what we face.
Agreed. Can I roll assault tactics to determine the best kill zone? Hosen? Anything
the
else?
best kill zone would be to point your gun down that hallway.
No, I just like determine. I don't know. Like, never mind.
I don't know if assault tactics would. I don't know if you rolled assault tactics. If I really had anything I could offer you as insight at this moment, if Castle has failed to open the blast door or something, I'd probably have you roll assault, and then you'd figure out some way to get through the blast door or something like that. But
Okay.
like how to breach
Yeah, 'cause
something
I'm still-
so hard, to get through.
Okay. So, because I'm still like trying to learn why these tactics are there, like assault tactics, what I can use it for.
Right. They're generally to help give you insight about going about situations and stuff like that. So it's like, whenever it comes down to breaching something or attacking something, then that kind of falls into assault tactics doctrine stuff. But this is also generally for like fortifications and things like that, like where Soros is defense, so he knows how to build up the defenses, and he also would know some weak points and stuff in it. You'll also know weak points as well with your assault, and you probably would know not only like weak points, but what to deploy best to crack those weak points.
Okay. Cool.
But if you a good way to go about this situation, non like assault tactical way, but if you're just overwatching this whole hallway here would be something you could do, and as soon as something popped out, you'd be able to just fire away. So that's always a really good thing too, to have this whole like hallway painted basically. I'm going to hop down and see what they're talking about real quick. I know what they're talking about. Oh, never mind. What's up?
Welcome back, Lovebird.
Actually going to cut off here, guys.
Role-playing invent, dude.
And it's almost at an hour, so I'll see you guys. Actually, I'm going to try to stop it right on the hour. And then we'll go. Hopefully. And see you guys in the next